Boom, coming in hot, Chinch. How we doing today, brother?
I love how you go, are we recording? Right before you said that just now. but I did have to go, There's been those two times, man. Those couple times, man. We do a whole show.
Failure's feedback. Failure's feedback, bro. We've had enough where we didn't record.
Yeah.
How many times have we done that in 250 shows?
I would say, honestly, there was one bad one when we did a whole 40-minute show. And then I called you and we did it again. That was the worst one. There have been a couple other times where we've only gone 5 minutes or so. But one of the times you were on such a roll and you were telling such a great story and we had to start over. It's so it takes my breath away.
We never did it with a guest. We never did it with a guest, did we?
No, thank goodness gracious. Although that one time the clip didn't record properly and I was searching for it for 4 days. But hey, we got a couple of housekeeping. Hey, tell Pops I'm sorry, man. I think it's the first time in my life that your dad was mad at me yesterday, but I think I don't know what he was looking for.
Dude, I go over to my parents' house yesterday about 6:45. I drop my daughter off at soccer. I stop over to see how they're doing. They're like, where the hell is the episode? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we can't find it. This Chinch hasn't posted it. So that's when I text you. Did you post the YouTube episode?
I know.
My parents are going to revolt.
I got so nervous. I got really nervous. I could just picture your parents yelling at me. I don't want them yelling at me. I don't want them to like me. So I'm sorry, Casey family. Maybe I did post it a little later than normal, but I watched the whole thing. That's why I wasn't. I got very nervous. That's all. I was like, I hope Mr. Casey's okay.
Before I left, they ended up watching it before I left last night, so it's all good. Joan and Jim Casey are caught up.
All right, sorry, folks. I'll get it out earlier today for you.
Although I tell you what, though, Chinch, I don't know about you, bro, but MLB Network and YouTube TV don't have a contract anymore, and I used to use YouTube TV.
Right.
So I'm trying to show my mom. Now I signed up for Fubo TV.
Yes.
Because it's got MLB Network.
Ah.
So I'm like telling my mom, you got to sign up for Fubo TV. I might as well be speaking Chinese with my mom, trying to get her to download the Fubo app on Apple TV and then sign up. It's like, seriously, Mom, I know you're watching this. Got to clean it up. You got to get better at learning how to download these apps and stream and sign up.
No, as a son or daughter, you have to go on site, bro. That's not a phone call. You have to be on site. You have to have logins ready. You have to be prepared to turn to a parent and say, what's your login for your Apple Pod, whatever? And then you have to wait another 15 minutes for them to go into a room. This is that generation. They go into a room and they find little Post-it notes from the last 55 years with every password that they've ever had. Do you have that? They do. Yes. My father's like, go into the in my office in the little den down there. You got to go under. It's in the third drawer. That's where I keep all my passwords. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Every
time I'll say to my parents, hey guys, what's your Apple ID so we can get this app downloaded? My mom looks at Jim, where's the Apple ID? He's like, God, this is, I don't know. I'm like, what are you guys, how are you downloading anything? So then my dad goes upstairs, he finds, same thing, a Post-it note, he comes down, maybe it's this one. And the other thing is that the Wi-Fi at the house, they don't have their own password. They got you got to go on the back of the router like you did back in
with the 19,000 digits.
8,000 letters and numbers and dashes. And you're like, are you kidding me? You don't have Jim and Joan are happy.
They never change
it. 80 plus years of your passcode. You got JZBTZ @_
Niner. Is there a niner in there? Dude, it's the worst. My dad too. My dad, we get him a Fire Stick. Guess what?
Yeah.
It's been in a box for 2 years. It's been in a box for 2 years. I actually think Jess took it because we needed a new one for another room. She just went, ring doorbell, I got him. That's upstairs in my closet somewhere. Anything that you have to push a button that's electronic, don't get it for your parents. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
No, dude, I just said, when you said Fire Stick for your dad, I'm like, no chance.
No.
You didn't even have to tell me. You didn't have to tell me it wasn't out of the box. I was like, I don't care if Mr. Chinch got it out of the box.
No.
It ain't getting executed.
But doesn't it frustrate you, though?
Anywhere.
By the way, first of all, my father doesn't even have DVR on his cable. He has to run to the bathroom like we did when we were 7 during a live record of a show. Or I'll call him and be like, I can't talk. Blue Bloods this on. And he like hangs up and I'm like, there's no pause button in my father's house. Oh, but we love them. So this is keep it rolling with. We got a little housekeeping, man. I love it when you guys, fans and friends, when you guys send us notes. We will talk about them on TV. We had a little controversy yesterday. We were talking about the Bellinger thing and getting a strike call, and I brought up how it's like getting a ticket for going like 63 in a 60. You said you should be able to go 68 in a 60. Well, we got great feedback from people on that, and then one other thing. But this guy, Dodge Bolt King. I was trying to figure out what he meant by that. That's his name. He's a former cop, and this is great. I was listening today and heard you guys discussing traffic laws / speeding. So I'm a retired law enforcement. I've learned the majority of highway patrolmen live by the model of, and this is awesome, 9 and you're fine, 10 and you're mine, meaning leeway is usually 9 miles per hour over the speed limit. Just thought I'd pass along. Have a great day. First of all, thank you for that.
Thank you. That's great information. Yeah, we all want to know what the cops are thinking when we're out there.
That's at Camp C4. Yeah, we do. So 9 and you're fine, 10 and you're mine.
10 and you're mine.
I've never heard that before. That cracked me up. Then the other one that's great is your boy Mark. You know, the big-time badass Boston.
Mark Ruggiero, he comes in. He's always got some good stuff for us.
Yeah, so he sent me something yesterday. Here we go. Okay, this is fun, too.
You don't want Mark pulling you over, dude. You'd be in a freaking pretzel about 0.7 if you decided to have a bad day.
Dude, his pictures, when he goes like this in a picture, it's like Lou Ferrigno, dude. It's freaking amazing. I would never mess with that guy. Anyway, okay. So the other thing we talked about was how celebrities sometimes go, do you know who I am?
Oh,
well, this triggered Mark, and he just wrote, just watch a pod. When you get hit with the don't you know who I am line, it's an automatic armbar takedown into a camel clutch. Oh, that's so funny. And then he followed up. He goes, this is a touchy subject. I want to be like, you know who I am? The guy with the ticket book and the handcuffs. and then these idiots don't understand. I have no intention of writing a ticket until I start chirping or acting like bleep. Then it's like, hold on, I'll be right back. You said that. That one of your friends told you, like, be nice, dude, apologetic, this is all my fault.
It's the only way. My buddy, who's a cop around here, said the only way is just be nice and just maybe own up to you were going a few miles over the speed limit or whatever. Maybe you were passing a truck at the wrong moment or something like that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks guys for chiming in with that. I get so excited when people kind of say this. I remember
my dad one time. I remember we were driving. It was like 13-year-old travel baseball. We were late. You know, obviously Casey's are late again. I'm like, we're late again. We're meeting the team at like the local McDonald's off the highway, and we're all going from there, right? So we're late. My dad's barreling down St. Clair, just burn. We're probably going 58 and a 25. Barrels around the corner. Cop pulls him over. So now we're really late. Now we were late if we got there on time, going 58. Now where the cop pulls us over, my dad must have not got the memo about treating police right. He's like, guy comes up. He's like, my dad's like, don't you support Upper St. Clair athletics?
What'd the guy do?
He's like, we're late for a tournament. He's like, sir, license and registration. I don't care. You're going 58 to 25. We don't support Upper St. Clair athletics when guys are going 30 over the speed limit.
Oh my God, that's terrible. I hate getting pulled over. It stresses me out. I get so nervous. I get nervous, terribly nervous, and even when I don't do anything wrong, I just don't like it. I'm just a nervous person.
You being a wreck. You go reach
whatever.
Like, let me see your hands, sir. Let me see your hands, sir.
Thing. Terrifying. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit baseball. I guess we are a baseball podcast, generally speaking. We're not like a router device cable company, but
I'm sure every listener out there is having the problem.
I guarantee. There you go. Chime in with your horror stories from trying to set up things at your parents' houses, and we'll talk about that tomorrow at the beginning of the show. So, dude, we got to talk. I like what the network's doing, dude. They're hyping it up big time. You got the big ones. You got Judge versus Ohtani this week. and it's going to be on the network. It's going to be everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. But let's go.
This is what we want, right? This is what we want, and especially last year with Judge winning the MVP and people still being like, well, Ohtani's the best player, but Judge, I think that's what it's going to take if Ohtani stays healthy to unseat Ohtani as the MVP. Is you have to have a record-setting year like Judge did last year, 62 home runs, had a higher WAR also than Ohtani, which is incredible. Almost won the Triple Crown. So 2 heavyweights, man. And I love MLB Network's doing a great job
hyping
of promoting it. Judge versus Ohtani. It starts tonight. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
How about,
in the Bronx.
I could just imagine like Trout sitting there going, you guys remember me? Remember me? That's like, it's funny how like it's like the circle of baseball life, because Trout and Pujols play together. And Pujols, I remember Pujols, they kept asking about Trout when he got to the Angels, and he goes, I got a pretty good baseball card too. He finally snapped like one day after like months. He's like, my baseball card's pretty good too. And everybody's like, oh yeah, I forgot. You're probably the greatest player of this generation.
Yeah.
Maybe the greatest hitter ever. Like he might be the greatest overall hitter ever,
Seriously.
Yeah.
You're right.
And it just tells you what we got in the game right now, man. The I love the swagger of the players. I think we've reached actually also, I don't know why this just popped in my head. We reached a nice happy balance between, we're not bat flipping into the stands anymore, but you can still celebrate. I think like it's not like old school versus new school. I think it's just we're in a nice school. We're in just a collective school because you got great athletes. They can show their emotions. They're not hitting each other in the back after they do it.
Right.
And they're not really overdoing it too much. It's a great time for Major League Baseball. You were on Dan Patrick earlier and gave the first month of the season an A grade. Yeah.
I was just on Dan Patrick today. First off, Danny, thanks for having me on. I don't know if you listen to the Mayor's Office, but if you do, thanks for having me on. Those guys are incredible. If you don't watch the Dan Patrick show, tune in if you've been hiding under a rock, because it's a great show.
Yeah.
But, I agree, man. I give the first month of the season so far, I give it an A, man. A plus. I mean, I think the new rules have added a lot. You saw Lindor the other day talking about that he loves the fact that he can be more athletic. Like you were saying, Chinch, the other day on these double plays, he can go up the middle, show his athleticism, go to the right. Even on the shift, those guys didn't get a chance to show how athletic they are because everyone's in place. You're seeing more balls hit up the middle. You're seeing more balls pulled into the 4-hole. I think you're seeing more stolen bases with the bases.
Love the stolen base stuff, man.
Stolen base is back. Nico Horner's stealing bases for the Cubs. A lot of guys are. And, I think the pitch clock's been great, man. I think the only thing the pitch clock hasn't been great on is the Bellinger moment where, and I think we're going to learn from that. The umpire's going to say, okay, if you get a standing ovation, you don't have to get in the box in the 8 seconds.
Little feel there, but that's okay. The guy's just trying to make his living. He's trying to do his job, but have a little feel there. Hey, go back to the stolen base thing. What do you think of this? It's almost like a hybrid delayed steal is what Volpe does it every time. A couple of the guys, I think Mullins is doing it too. It's almost like the old school delayed steal. But
Shuffle, go.
Shuffle, go. How do you feel about it? I like it. It's athletic.
You're talking about when they pick over twice and then they can't do it the third time?
No, I think some guys are doing it even if it's not. So it's the Volpe does it every time he tries to steal. They take this big lead and it's like a jump step into like your crouch and sprint. It's a new wave. I'm going to look it up right now what we're thinking about.
How many bags does Volpe have too?
He has at least 7. He stole 3 the other day, I think. He's
legit.
Yes.
He's legit. We've seen enough of him already to know he's a game-changing player. He does a lot of things really, really, really well.
I think that's a sign of a great player because he's not. I mean, he's starting to hit a little bit, but the sign of a great player is that you don't have to have every part of your game going great and still do great things within the game. You play great defense, or you're great on a base pass. He's been struggling at the plate, but he's scoring runs and he's stealing bases. Right. So
exactly.
I'm gonna pull up stolen base leaders right now, if you don't mind, dude. This is great. Cubs, Nick Horner, 9. Mateo for Baltimore, 8. Cedric Mullins, Baltimore, 8. How about having 2 guys? You got 16 stolen bases between 2 guys. There's a sign as to why you're having more success this year, Baltimore, than last, right? Then you got Acuna, Starling Marte, Miles Straw, and Volpe all have 7. I love it. Tim Anderson has 5. Corbin Carroll has 6. I love it. It's a better game. It's a better game when your guys at the top of the lineup.
That's what Major League Baseball wanted. They want more action. They want more balls in play. They want more action on the base paths, and that's what I think you're getting at. And shorter games.
So
you're getting just a tighter game, and you're getting more action. That's exactly what these rules were meant for.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody's looking for an advantage. It happens in football all the time. Like, you can not bend the rules, but find the hole in the rules. I don't think anybody, they put these rules together to a point where, nobody can really cheat them. So it's an unbelievable thing because, when a rule goes into place in any sport, there's always somebody looking to try to take an advantage of it. But you could tell that the guys in Major League Baseball, Chris Marinak is one of the guys, one of the most brilliant dudes out there. It's like they didn't just make the rules. They probably fail-safe the rules underneath them to make sure, they're all sitting in a room going, how can somebody cheat this, and figure out how to present it so that you can't cheat the rules. Right. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Yeah. I think they're so well thought out.
Right. That's my point.
They did a great job. I think the one thing you might see, though, is on the shift. You haven't seen it a ton, so I don't know if it's going to end up being a problem, but the stats aren't there yet just to see when that left fielder comes in to play like Rover. Yeah. You've seen it a few times. So then the adjustment will be, do the outfielders then have to start in a certain, almost like a box area? I mean, you hate to say that, but
right.
Just so they can't come up and take away the shift. I think that'll be one thing we'll have to keep our eyes on as this year goes on. Will you see more teams? Because the data, the analytics will be there that says, hey, these big left-handed hitters, they're not hitting the ball to left. So bring that left fielder over, pinch the gaps with the right fielder and the center fielder, whoever, your two best outfielders, fastest, and make the shift, bring that, taking away the shift away again.
I like that.
I think that's something to look at.
Or it's almost like softball. You could take the two outfielders, put them in those gaps, and then take the third outfielder and put him right behind the grass, like that Rover that when you used to play softball.
Yeah, like softball, yeah.
Yeah, see, people are always trying to think of things. That's like in football. I wonder if they could make it so that, I wonder if you could set a rule where it's you can only do that 2 or 3 times per game, and it's like in the NFL, this lineman is declared an eligible receiver. If you start seeing that, you can start seeing backhaul rules. We're going way off the reservation here. I just have fun with it.
It's true though. It's good. I love it.
It is. All right. What else you got? Who are you grinding on? Who are you grinding on in baseball right now? Who's your favorite?
Who am I grinding on? Well, I like that Pablo Lopez sign an extension with the Twins. I think that's a great sign. Luis Ariz is having a great year with the Marlins. So is Lopez.
Yeah.
I don't know the Braves. We talked about the Braves. The Braves are kind of quietly really, really good.
13-4.
Not quietly, but the Atlanta Braves. You look up and you're like, wow, these guys have won 7 in a row, right?
7 in a row. Yep. 5 scoreless frames from Fried yesterday.
Yep.
They are
Fried's
legit.
back.
Their entire lineup is they're just deep. They are absolutely deep. Let's see.
They really are, dude. They really are deep.
Yeah. Olsen with
Michael
5.
Harris, Austin Riley. I mean, they're and even not having Dansby Swanson. I think who's there? Is it Grissom? Is there shortstop?
Arceus played a lot.
Yeah.
And played well. He's got 333 batting average.
Yeah. They're loaded, dude. They have a lot of good athletes that up on that.
Oh, I got a question for you, dude. What happened? What happened to Javy Baez? What happened? This is a big one. I don't know why we haven't called this.
He's invisible. He's turned invisible. Yeah, I guess it just he switched leagues. That's the first thing. So you're facing you're facing some different pitching. Obviously, I know it's all interleague and everything like that. But it's definitely different when you go to the American League from the National League. Mm-hmm. And he's always been a big swing and miss guy, and it's just now amping up to another level where he's a dude. I feel like right now he's an out.
Oh, it's not even a question. Somebody ripped together. That's what people do. Kick a man when he's down. But somebody ripped together a bunch of his swings on Twitter or something the other day, and I'm watching. He's 8 inches away from the ball, and I'm talking on fastballs, on breaking balls, pitches up, pitches down. Don't throw a ball down him. You can't throw. Don't throw him strike. That's how bad he's gotten. Have you ever known anybody else that has lost it like that in your playing days? Just lost it,
dude. I tell you what, I've been there before. I got it back, but I've been there before where you lose it. You're like, I don't know what to do. And I think what it is at the end of the day, anxiety sets in. And you can't explain it. But when you start having so much failure, the only way to really succeed in the big leagues is to look at failure's feedback, right? Failure's feedback for me. What's the adjustment I need to make? And attack that adjustment, right? You have to attack. The biggest thing is what happens is, and continue to play offense. I think that's key. Play offense. What happens is when you start to have so much failure, I mean, what's the league average is around 240. So 76% of the time in the big leagues, you're failing. You're failing, dude. So I don't care what people say, hey, he's hitting 300. No, dude, there's so much failure in this game that you mentally have to be able to continue to talk to yourself in a way that's elite. Elite, you're right? And so I think what happens is when you really start to struggle like Javy Baez is, the anxiety and the stress of coming to the yard every day starts to play games with you. And what happens is you start to want to go get the baseball. And what do you do when you do that? Your vision becomes out front. And if you start living out front too much, you might say, ooh, that's a good swing, but it's not because you're living out front. The best players in the game let the ball travel, right? And they let the ball travel to the spot where they can put a good swing on out front, right? But they let the ball travel. And so I think that's the biggest thing. When I look at Javy Baez or anyone that struggles, anxiety sets in and you just don't know how to get it off you. And that's what I think off the field becomes so important. Are you meditating? Are you slowing your brain down? Are you finding ways, tapping? Have you ever done tapping, Chinch?
I just read about that.
Guys are doing it nowadays. It's like, what you do is, you tap right here, then you tap the side of your eyes, under your eye, under your nose, under your mouth, your chest, under your arm, and then the top of your head. And you go through a sequence of it. And what it does is it slows the amygdala down, right, in your brain. It slows that center.
Slows the what?
The fear centers. Oh. The fear centers, the anxiety centers. It slows them down. It really works, man. It really works. And if you want to check it out, there's an app called the Tapping Solution. It's incredible, by Nick and Jessica Ortner. An incredible, incredible place. But guys are using these things. And that's what I'm saying. When anxiety comes, there are tools out there to help you. Tapping is one of them. Meditation is one of them. And like I said, before the games, I used to do that before the games, knowing I had to get my brain in the right spot. So to wrap it all up, what I'm saying is Javy Baez, the game is speeding up on him because anxiety's taken over.
Yeah. He's owed $100 million over the next 4 years.
Yeah. What are his numbers right now?
Oh, boy. I almost feel bad pulling them up. Hold on.
I think he had a couple hits the other day, though.
Did he? All right, let's see here. Baseball Reference. Okay. He is currently 9 for 49. He's hitting 184, 3 extra base hits, all doubles, 5 RBIs.
Yeah.
259 on base percentage, dude.
Yeah, that's not great.
504 slugging. I think I'm slugging 504.
Well, that's one thing about Baez, too. He's not going to walk. So he's hitting 184, but he's not
so you can't get out of the slump.
Sometimes you're like, hey, Joey Gallo's hitting 190 with a 380 on base. You're like, all right, I can kind of live with that.
Yeah.
180 with a 250, I don't know, man. You got, and like we were saying before, like if you're getting paid like that, you've got to be an elite player. Now, listen, guys get on cold streaks, dude. That's the way it goes. But it was all of last year and the end of this year. I hope he gets going because he's got unbelievable talent. He can flat out pick it, and he's got some thunder in that bat. But you just got to get back into like just putting the ball in play and getting some confidence going.
I never root against guys. You never want to see somebody go through that.
Yeah, no. You hope he comes back and does well, man.
Yeah. Hey, so I'm going to do this tapping thing. I'm going to learn it. I just read something about it. I got one for you though before we go. This is ridiculous, and I've been thinking about bringing this up to you. So. You remember you were asking the other day about complexion and like what my skincare routine is? About? Dude, Jess tells me this the other day, and I'm like, I got to try this. You take a banana out of the banana peel,
right?
And you rub the inside of the peel all over your face. Rub it all over your face until it's almost gone. Leave it there 15, 20 minutes. Dude, I've been doing that. Mwah! Come
on, are you serious?
It is unbelievable. If you Google it, somebody.
Your skin does look extra.
I know. I got a little red in the sun yesterday. Did it this morning? Dude.
All I need is a banana peel.
All you need is a banana peel, and bananas are good for you to eat anyway. They're good for your metabolism. It's the best of both worlds, dude.
Potassium. They got potassium.
I am telling you, It's been life-changing. I started 2 days ago. I wake up in the morning.
Does Jess do it, or should you just tell
She's got like perfect skin. She doesn't have to do anything.
All right, I'm gonna give it a try, dude.
Are you gonna? You promise?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
I love this stuff.
It's fun. You and Sarah, if you do it, take a picture or do a video.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
All right, and say so. By the way, what did I ask? Oh, everybody today, get on our Twitters or our Instagrams or whatever.
Tell us what your skincare is.
Well, that too, but also tell us nightmare stories about trying to set up electronics in your parents' homes, and we will talk about it tomorrow too. Again.
Yes.
All right. All right, dude. What else you got going on today?
Also, too, I want to give a quick shout out too, because it's coming up in a few weeks, May 7th. Hey, go check out breakthrough-pro.com if you want to join my mental performance program. It's going to be really good. It's going to be incredible. The stuff that we teach in that is so good. So breakthrough-pro.com. Go check it out. Come join us. Come join us for an 8-week program. I guarantee it'll change your life.
Beautiful.
I'd throw it out there, Chinch.
No, I love it,
It's our
dude.
show, my program.
You've
Let's
changed
go.
my life, Sean. You've changed my life for the better.
Well, you changed mine too, bro. You're the best.
All right.
All right, man. Love you, man. See you, everybody. See you tomorrow.
See you.